Let me paint the picture for you. Today in New York, vaccine mandates for summer camps are kicking up a real political clash. Hi, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in New York, New York. Let's open the book on this. Vaccine mandate sparks political clash in New York. Governor Kathy Hochul is weighing a bill passed in Albany that would require children at summer camps to be vaccinated. The goal is to keep measles from breaking out at camps, which has happened in the past. This is also happening while some federal officials try to roll back vaccine recommendations, which are basically non-binding guidelines for what shots are advised and when. Bruce Blakeman, Hochul's Republican rival in the governor's race, is calling the mandate un-American. He says medical choice and religious freedom should lead here, and he questions the scientific evidence for broad mandates. Hochul supports the mandate in principle, arguing it protects public health. For context, New York's measles vaccination rate among kindergartners was about 97.8% in the 2024-2025 school year, which is high, but outbreaks can still happen in close quarters like cabins and dining halls. And in May 2026, Hochul signed 2 vaccine bills to shield state policy from federal changes. Back in fall 2025, she also made sure pharmacies could give COVID shots through executive orders, which are emergency-style directives from the governor.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. I'm big on individual choice and religious freedom. Those are core values. At the same time, measles is crazy contagious, and camps are like bunk beds and shared mess halls. Public health benefits are real when you keep a virus from ripping through a camp. I hear Blakeman's point on the science behind blanket mandates, but I also see the state's job to keep kids safe. That's a curveball to balance, right? Why push this now, though? Is it just the timing with summer camp season, or is it more about the federal back and forth?
A bit of both. Lawmakers passed it in June, right as camps open, to stop any quick spread, and the state is signaling that even if federal recommendations shift, New York is going to stick with a strong vaccination framework. One more note, groups like Children's Health Defense, an organization previously chaired by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., have been linked to spreading vaccine misinformation according to public health researchers. That has made the debate even louder, even if the core question here is just how strict the camp rules should be.
Yeah, that checks out. If Hochul signs it, camps will need clear rules on how to comply so families and camp directors know exactly what's required without a last-minute scramble. All right, let's roll on. Next up, Super PAC funding stirs controversy in NYC Democratic primaries. A group called American Priorities, which is a super PAC, pledged $2 million to support progressive Democrats. Claire Valdez, Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, and Brad Lander in New York City congressional races. Quick definition: a super PAC can spend unlimited money to help or hurt candidates, but can't legally coordinate with their campaigns. This one says it aims to counter pro-Israel groups like IPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, which is a powerful advocacy group on U.S.-Israel policy. Opponents are calling the supported candidates hypocritical for benefiting from so-called dark money. Dark money is a shorthand for political spending that can be hard to trace to the original donors. The candidates deny any coordination, which they're legally required to do. Early voting is around the corner, and this cash is front and center. One surprising angle: a major donor to the PAC is Hussein Mahrouk, a Texas businessman, which shows how out-of-state money flows into our local races.
Real talk. If your brand is grassroots and small dollar, but a super PAC suddenly drops $2 million on your behalf, that can feel off to voters. Even if there's no coordination, the optics matter. It can chip away at trust inside the party. Why lean on a super PAC at all if your message is people-powered?
Probably strategy. The money arms race is real, and super PACs can answer other super PACs fast. If the PAC truly stays independent, it's legal. But I get the whiplash. Voters hear independence, then see wall-to-wall ads from a group with donors they don't know. That's something to chew on, huh?
Okay, let's move on. Switching gears just a little. Trump nominates Jay Clayton for Director of National Intelligence, and it's already stirring debate. Jay Clayton is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, meaning he leads federal prosecutions in Manhattan and surrounding areas. He previously chaired the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, which polices stock markets and corporate disclosures. He also worked at Apollo Global Management, a finance firm, and Sullivan and Cromwell, a major law firm. The Director of National Intelligence, or DNI, is the coordinator across America's spy agencies. Think of it as the hub for intelligence sharing and analysis. This nomination follows President Donald Trump naming Bill Polt, a businessman, as acting director earlier this month, which drew controversy. The Senate will now take up Clayton's confirmation. His office has handled national security, gun violence, and drug trafficking cases, so he brings courtroom and management experience to a very political post.
Clayton's resume is strong, no doubt. Leading SDNY and the SEC are heavyweight roles. I do wonder about timing and the politics here, especially after the acting pick drew heat. Is this a reset move to put a seasoned lawyer in a sensitive slot and calm things down before the election calendar really bites? That's worth exploring.
Totally fair question. The Senate process should lay out how he sees the job. Clear definitions around independence and how he'd handle pressure will be key, because the DNI's job is about truth-telling in plain language, even when it's inconvenient.
Let's keep it moving. Brad Lander cleared in the ICE protest case as his congressional race heats up. Brad Lander, who's a progressive Democrat and former New York City comptroller, was acquitted by a federal judge of charges tied to a 2025 protest at 26 Federal Plaza. That's the building where Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, detains people. He and other officials were arrested while demanding access to holding cells during Trump's deportation campaign. This comes days before early voting in his race against Representative Dan Goldman, who is the incumbent in that congressional seat. The charge was a minor obstruction-type count, but the trial drew big attention. Lander's camp frames it as standing up to what they saw as suppression, and now the acquittal is a headline right as voters are tuning in.
Let's get to the heart of it. Going to trial on principle is risky, but he did it and won. That can resonate with voters who value civil disobedience, which simply means breaking a law peacefully to protest what you believe is an injustice. Still, it's a gamble. If the verdict had gone the other way, the narrative today would look very different. All right, on to the next. NYC welcomes World Cup fans amid infrastructure woes. Mayor Zoran Mamdani has been spotlighting what's fun about the city, but also, let's be honest, we have aging systems everywhere. The subway runs 24/7, which is rare and awesome, but some stations are hard to navigate and heavy rain can turn platforms into geysers. Airports are mid-construction. The Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, the BQE, especially that triple cantilever section stacked into the side of Brooklyn Heights, is a marvel, but also a stress test. And Penn Station is still, well, a maze. Experts are telling visitors to mix it up. Try less crowded parks and shoreline spots, get off the beaten path, and give yourself buffer time. Fun aside, there are abandoned subway stations and even old burial grounds under parts of the city. Urban history is layered here. It's part of why we love it, and why upkeep is a never-ending job.
As someone who loves urban exploration, I'm not gonna lie, the hidden tunnels are cool. But during the World Cup, first impressions matter. Clear signage, storm drains that actually drain, trains that stay on time, that stuff counts. I'm down for a bold, no-excuses push on repair basics. Even small wins like wayfinding signs in Penn or targeted floodproofing at a few known hotspot stations would show visitors we can nail it when it counts.
So there we have it. Vaccines at camps, big money in primaries, a new intelligence nominee, a protest acquittal, and a city getting game day ready, quirks and all.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in New York, New York. Have a great day, and see you tomorrow.